This is the broadcast of Back Roads of Illinois. We are bringing latest agricultural news and markets update on Back Roads of Illinois. Bring you like inside of the markets and interview with people in the agricultural industry for farmers and ranchers in central Illinois and across the Midwest. Today's edition of Back Roads of Illinois. We were Central Illinois agriculture source, and in the Midwest alongside in Central Illinois agriculture, we were glad you're here on a Friday afternoon. We were glad to join with a few friends of mine who is a great people in our community in Ottawa, Illinois and North Central Illinois. Otherwise welcome to join with Natale Schmidt and her husband Joe Schmidt, their partner Milton from Uganda Projects and Uganda for the Farmers with their daughter and their son-in-law Anna and Tyler Ditchfield. We are glad that it's Friday and the weekend after this week. This is your agricultural news and markets update on Back Roads of Illinois. We are watching the hurricane in the Gulf Coast in Hurricane Helene and Big Bend, Tallahassee, Florida. The Department of Agriculture in the state of Georgia. They want their producer and livestock farmers to call the Department of Agriculture for their livestock because of flooding risk and storm surge in the coast. The Farm Bill has been decided to try putting the Senate floor. However, the Republicans are skepticism to get past the Farm Bill for this December after the election season in the country. This week was good for the commodity. Spike in the facts about the presidential campaign trail and demand for beans to China. However, the Farm Bill is still turned down in the Senate. We were coming back with our conversation with friends in Ottawa, Illinois with Natale and Joe Schmidt, Milton Touring Wire. Stay tuned on Back Roads of Illinois. This is your commodity markets update on Back Roads of Illinois. Corn futures finished in up 7 to 8 cents at the half. Soybean futures finished in up 8 to 9 cents. Wheat futures finished in up 3 to 5 cents. This is your livestock markets update sponsored by Kyle Bumstead from Allendale Incorporated. Cattle futures finished in up 8 to 10 cents half. Feeder cattle finished in up 2 to 3 cents to the quarter. Lean hogs finished in up 3 to 4 cents. Crude oil are up to 8 to 9 cents per barrel. Dow Jones. We were glad to join with a few friends of mine who is a great people in our community in Ottawa, Illinois and North Central Illinois. Otherwise welcome to join with Natale Schmidt and her husband Joe Schmidt, their partner Milton from Uganda Projects and Uganda for the Farmers with their daughter and their son-in-law Anna and Tyler Ditchfield. How are you today? Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Milt. Good morning, Cesar. I'm Natalie, and
I'm Milton. It's nice meeting you, Cesar. This is my second time to talk to you.
Let's start with our conversation about your plans in Africa. How did you decide to work with the farmers in Uganda? Start with Natale.
all right. Thank you, Cesar. In 2019, my husband Joe and I visited Uganda on a mission trip that was led by a friend of ours named Debbie Damron. We have been longtime friends with Milton here, and we were joining his nonprofit in Uganda to work on different mission projects that were already moving and in place, helping families, visiting schools, visiting medical centers, working with children and families, and just trying to seek out opportunities to help all of them. And Joe, the farmer, found himself walking into the cornfields and wondering what exactly was happening with the quality of the corn that they were raising. Milton, would you explain a little bit about what maize or corn means to a Ugandan where they live?
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, Uganda is located in the eastern part of Africa. We are about 48 million people, and it's a tropical country, very beautiful, and I hope sometime in the future you could come visit us. So about 85% of Ugandans are farmers. And for us, when we talk about farmers, by definition, it means peasant farmers. These are people who grow food mainly for home consumption and very little or less for sale. And we have been working with Natale and Joe since 2019, and they have been supporting Ugandan farmers, especially those who are into corn growing. In Uganda, corn, we call it maize. And our maize is not yellow like the one I've seen in the United States here in Illinois. Ours is white. So it is called maize. And they support the nonprofit which I founded in 2007. It's called Innovations for Transformation Initiative. And we have our offices in Fort Portal. So to us, the farmers, in Uganda, giving us a helping hand is the most important thing that has happened to us. When I met Joe in 2012, he had no idea about what happens with Ugandan farmers. But when he came to Uganda in 2019, as a farmer from Illinois, interfacing, talking and meeting with farmers in Uganda, it was a whole new world to him. The farming practices were bad. The tools that we use are rudimental, and I would say 120 years behind the United States. Everything was different. I remember him asking, how can farmers in this country, a farmer, sleep hungry? The children are malnourished. The children are not going to school. The children have no medical care. How can a farmer live like this? So him being a farmer and coming from a farming family for generations and a farming county, he said something has to be done. We have to do something.
What does corn, tell our audience, like what does corn mean, the maize? How is it used specifically?
So
why it's important
so
to have
corn
enough?
to us is food. It's the main staple food for East Africans. Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda. Now we have South Sudan and Congo. So corn is the main staple food. So what happens, we make corn into two types of food. One, we can make a porridge out of it, which we normally have for breakfast or evening. So what happens, we boil water. Once it gets to the boiling point, we get maize flour or corn flour, stir it with cold water, and then pour it into the boiling water in the saucepan. And then we start together to make a porridge. Then we let it heat for about 15 to 20 minutes and it's ready for drinking. For the privileged ones, they can add some sugar or add some milk and then you drink. For the less privileged, then we just drink our white porridge just like the way it is. The other way we eat posho, I mean, we make flour is to make posho out of it. So posho is like bread. So we boil water. Once it reach boiling point, we just pour the maize flour into the boiling water and then start together and make a bread for like 15 minutes. Then you have your bread ready to eat. We call it posho.
So it's real dense. It's heavy.
Yes.
Yeah, like yeah.
If you eat maybe just a small size like this, you will not eat for the rest of the day.
Very filling.
Very filling with a lot of carbohydrates and starch and yeah.
So Cesar, that's why growing maize, it's a daily food staple, is so important to Ugandans. And so like Milton was saying, Joe especially is a farmer here in Illinois, saw that the farmers that have a food that they need every day for basic survival, they weren't even able to keep enough of that around, even though they have 2 growing seasons as well. They just were really struggling. And some of the reasons for that.
Do you have any final thoughts or recap?
Well, mostly we are just thankful for the seed that was planted in Joe's heart and how faithful God has been in the middle of all of it to show us the way and to be able to utilize our farm here in Ottawa, Illinois. That's a 4th generation farm and soon to be 5th and 6th generation farm to help farmers in another part of the world. It's been an amazing project to work on and just something we have been thankful for. We're thankful for our friendship with Milton and all of the farmers that we have back who are working so hard with us. Milton, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah. For me, I just want to thank our friends here in this beautiful city of Ottawa, Illinois. They have been very kind. They have been very compassionate. They have provided the resources. The families here, some of the companies here helping our farmers back in Uganda. To me, I'm just blessed to having met them in the past few days and also ask them that they should not stop now because we need them the most right now because we have reached a point where our farmers have produced a lot and we need storage facilities so that we can help our farmers have quality grains well stored that are free from molds, that are not being destroyed by rodents or other pests. We need a maize milling machine at our turf demonstration garden that will help add value to what the farmers will be producing. We have the property, but we need vehicles to transport the grains from the farmers' gardens and the small storage units to the central garden, demonstration garden. We need the storage unit and also the maize milling machine so that we can help the farmer. Instead of selling seed, we can sell a finished product of posho, of maize flour. And that's our goal.
Yes, and just linking on to what Milton has said, we have had amazing support from our farming community for transforming Ugandan farmers, and we have many partners who are farmers, business people, friends, family, all in our immediate area, and word is getting around through the farming community throughout our state that have been supporting Tough ever since 2022, and we have just seen tremendous growth. And with that growth, we can continue to help other farmers, but also improve the project. Saying as Milton has mentioned, that we are looking toward helping them to store the grain better and to eventually sell a finished product that will bring 7 to 8 to 10 times more of a price to these hardworking farmers being able to sell a finished product. We our information is easily shared on toughproject.org. We have a lot of information on that website that we just launched, and we are happy to share and answer questions from anybody who might have them. So if anybody wants to contact us, going to toughproject.org, we can talk with you and receive an email from you and be able to answer any questions. And we're happy to share all about Tough with anyone.
You guys are great people in our community in Ottawa, Illinois, and North Central Illinois. Otherwise, thanks you guys on the show. We're glad you're here to talk about it. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you, Cesar, so much.
Thank you, Cesar, for having us.
This is Natale and Joe Schimmitt from Ottawa, Illinois, on back roads of Illinois.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This is your close bell numbers of the commodity markets. Corn deck are up at $4.15 at the half. March corn are up at $4.35 the quarter. May corn are up at $4.44 the half. Soybean futures. November beans are up at 10.65. January are up at 10.83 quarter. KC wheat futures deck are down at 5.76 quarter. March are down at 5.8. This is your livestock markets for today's close. Cattle are lower for today. It's December cattle are down at 183.6 quarter. April cattle is down to 4 to 6 cents at 186.4. Feeder cattle finished and up 3 to 4 cents. March cattle are up at 237. Lean hogs are up at the quarter. October are up at 8. Thanks to all of the guests on today's program. We're running out of time on our show, but you can listen to our show wherever you get your podcast, The Spin Back Roads of Illinois. I am Cesar Delgado. Have a great weekend.